Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the TCK pod. I am DweezeNutz, all Z's, no S's. Sometimes my name's on the screen, sometimes it's not. I don't know how to work this machine, so I guess you can't see that shit for now. Maybe we'll figure it out later. This is TCK pod episode 377. I've never gotten that number right as long as I've been hosting with this guy, which is not a very long time, but it's a point of pride that I get it wrong every time. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest. You already know who this motherfucker is because he is everywhere. He's everywhere on the internet. His name is Laquan Jones, LQ himself.
Yes, sir.
From Real Deal Fantasy Headquarters. How are you, man? Welcome to the show. How did our booking agent get you on here? You're so fucking hype these days.
He paid me a beer. That's how I'm here. That's usually
the
how
tower behind you. I like it. We're gonna drink all of them. We're gonna drink the whole tower today.
That's usually how that goes, man.
Before we get started, because I'm gonna forget to do it later on. If there's anybody watching this now or later, first of all, subscribe, hit the bell, notify, whatever you do. Like I don't know, I don't care. But for those people. Just tell them where to find you, why they should bother to go find you, what they're going to get if they become a member of your wolf pack over there at Real Deal.
Hey, man, you're gonna see me, having a good time on your feed. You're gonna see me drinking a couple beers with a couple friends in the industry. And you're gonna see, just overall, you're just gonna get some fire content, man. You're just gonna get stats. You're not gonna get punched in the head. Beat down with a whole bunch of numbers, but you're just going to get the real. And that's kind of in the name Real Deal Fantasy. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. If this guy sucks, he sucks. You're going to hear about it and you're going to hear why he sucks as well. So I got a lot to back it up, but that's about it.
Look, man, you say you're not going to beat them down with numbers. That's sort of my thing. I beat people down with numbers. Well, you talking shit already. We just fucking got started on this shit. Maybe that's why there are 0 people watching this live right now. I've never seen 0 people watching your shit live. So,
oh my God.
I guess I could learn a lesson. Less numbers. Just more real shit. I hear you.
Listen, all you got to do is put your character into it, man. And you definitely got to put your character more into it.
I have no character. I'm bland. I've been told that I'm a very boring person to be around. My wife tells me all the time.
Bro, you shot 7 shots on live stream. Like, that is legendary.
We can top that tonight. Let's get it going real quick.
I'm talking back to back.
Oh, yeah. Look, it's like a fucking Wednesday night. I can't do that shit.
Exactly.
I got work. The kids got school. I got to get up in the morning. But I am going to do some work onto this little bottle of Jack here.
There we go.
Before we're done. All right. So today's show. This is a stat rad episode. So I do these stat rad episodes where I just fucking puke numbers at people for a while because I think there's some value in puking numbers.
No, there is. Don't let me knock you off again. I'm just saying what I provide.
Yeah. You're right. What I like about your shit, is you do so many short things. Like it's fucking like 3-minute clips all the time. You have longer shows that you do sometimes, but if I'm taking a shit, I could watch 4 of your videos and learn something and then go back to work or whatever the hell I'm doing. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good that you say that because I wanted to do it more often. I took a break from it because I don't know. I didn't really feel like, people were getting that much information or I was given too little. But now that you said that, you can get all the juice of, what you really need to hear in the little 2 to 3 minute clips. And then hopefully I bring them to the full episode because some people will attack me because they don't watch the full episode. It says watch the full episode, at the bottom of it. Dude, relax. Just watch the full episode and you'll see entirely of what I'm talking about.
Nobody's got time for the full episode. I know. I've never done a fantasy show shorter than 90 minutes, and that's why people don't listen. But it doesn't matter. It's fun. Yeah. It's more fun that way.
Exactly. I feel like, those are the core guys that will watch the 90 minutes, but the casual people, they'll probably have 10 minutes max in them, if that, on a Saturday or Sunday. During the week, I'm expecting only, a minute or maybe 2 minutes of their time. So
I'll tell you what, though, the way you've been going this offseason, man, I'm seeing Hitman on there from the footballers. Yeah. I don't know who else. Y'all these fucking big ass names on the show. I don't know what you're paying them to get on, but I watch those whole shows.
I mean, I absolutely love those guys, man, jumping on. I mean, given the opportunity. I don't know what it was, but as soon as COVID hit, man, a switch went in my head. I got to pick it up, man. I got to start, going into overdrive. And that's really all it's been. It's just been me just grinding it out. And like, now I'm trying to like protect my time. I'm trying to like figure out like how I'm going to just be more organized and not overwhelmed now. But there's more coming, man. I just got to say that there's more coming.
I just saw you post on Instagram some swag. I might have to get my hands on some of your fucking branded swag out there. About some coasters or some shit. I don't know who sells coasters, but you do, and I'm gonna buy them because.
Listen. Oh man, those are definitely stickers, but now I'm gonna make coasters now.
Give me some coasters, man. I got my beer sitting on my desk out here. Yeah. It's gonna leave a ring. We don't want a fucking ring.
I'm looking at a whole bunch of rings on this glass table right now. I'm kind of pissed off.
Get you some real deal coasters coming to an internet store near you. We should probably get into the content here at some point. We always go on for like 10, 20 minutes without fantasy. You're good people, man. You're good people. They're few and far between good people. So when I get an opportunity, I jump at it. Okay, so here's what we're talking about today, okay? All I said to you is I said, hey, pick a rookie from last season, so a second-year player this season. I don't care the position. And I want you to find a guy that people are wrong about, okay? So somebody who either the world is high on, the fantasy world is high on, that you don't think they should be, or vice versa, that people are dogging and fading, that they absolutely should not be doing. And bring some statistical arguments. This is a stat rat show, so bring some statistical arguments that support us, that sort of support your decision, your position, and help maybe sway some people's minds. It turns out we both picked rookie running backs. And we're gonna hit you with a lot of numbers. I know you love the numbers. We just talked about that. We're gonna hit you with a lot of numbers, and hopefully change some minds today because people are wrong a lot. The whole point of this series on the TCK Pod, the Stat Rat series, LQ, is that there's a lot of people in a lot of leagues that look at where did a guy finish last season, and that's the only metric I'm gonna use for deciding where to draft a guy, how to value a guy, and that should not be the way.
Yeah, that's very dangerous. That's very dangerous, and I think we get fooled sometimes. There's plenty of guys that will end up going way too high just based off of what they saw last year. Example, Tyler Higbee. Example, Kieran Johnson. All these names, like you really liked how they finish. They finished at said number, and it's like it's probably not going to happen next year because things are moving around, different situations, or that player only popped off because said player was injured. You know what I mean? Like,
special. How about David Montgomery last year finishing RB4, 5, whatever it was, because he had 4 games with multiple touchdowns at the end of the year. That's it. But people are going to draft that motherfucker, and I'm going to laugh all the way to the bank.
Yeah, I'm going to laugh all the way to the bank too, because if you look at those last 6 games, man, look at their defensive rankings. That's right there.
Trash. The worst 6 teams in the league. Also, as a Bears fan, I'll tell you that Bill Lazor calling the plays made a difference. Matt Nagy just took that back. He just decided he was going to call plays again. So I'm burning all my Andy Dalton shares that I just picked up.
Hopefully you really didn't.
Just real quick about Andy Dalton. Like all offseason long, I've been saying I want the Bears to sign Andy Dalton. I think he was the perfect signing for the situation. I've gotten a lot of shit as a Bears fan once he was signed, but that's who I wanted. Like we couldn't afford Russell Wilson if we got him. Like for the money, a $5 million cap hit on a $10 million 1-year contract. That's the best quarterback we could have possibly hoped for. Okay.
Yeah, that is true. I mean,
it is what it is. But
I've seen a lot of people saying they wanted Andy Dalton until they actually got Andy Dalton. Then it's kind of like, damn, we're starting the season off with Andy Dalton.
I'm happy. It's better than Nick Foles, better than Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, that's the argument that you can literally push in everybody's face. Is better than what we have or had. So more power to you, man.
I say, look, all we needed the Bears have never been a quarterback friendly team, right? All we've ever needed as a team was a quarterback that won't lose you games single-handedly. I think Andy Dalton can be that. So I'm excited. But he's not a topic of our show. Let's get on with the topic of our show. It's my show, okay? I'm the host, so I'm going to go first, if that's okay with you. I mean, I should ask.
Fine. That's fine. All
right, good. Shut up for a minute. Just start shutting the fuck up already. My second-year player that I'm going to talk about is a running back, and it's J.K. Dobbins. I'll tell you right out of the gates, it's J.K. Dobbins. And look, there's a bunch of these guys, Jonathan Taylor, you got fucking Antonio Gibson, you got DeAndre Swift, you got CEH, who's actually fallen pretty hard, but these guys are being valued relatively high in a lot of drafts for good reason. It was a really good class. Some running backs came out, made some waves pretty early. But I think J.K. Dobbins is getting a little bit disrespected, at least right now in the offseason. I expect his stock to rise a little bit moving into draft season. But right now, look, here's some ADPs, okay? On Fantasy Calculator, he's going running back 19. For the high dollar money, the NFFC, he's at running back 16 right now. So that tells you a little bit about, hey, the guys who are paying attention are valuing him a little bit better. But auction leagues, he's going for like $7, running back 19 on my fantasy league. He's going behind guys like DeAndre Swift, Antonio Gibson, David Montgomery, Josh Jacobs, James Robinson. All these guys are going ahead of him in all these leagues. And I'll tell you right now that none of those guys should be drafted before J.K. Dobbins. I have lots of reasons. Okay, lots of reasons. My favorite thing to do all offseason, LQ, is talk about coaching changes, because I think the coaches are the most important thing in fantasy football. And a couple years ago, Greg Roman went to the Baltimore Ravens, and I was fucking yelling it from the rooftops that Greg Roman was going to turn Mark Ingram or whoever was on that team into a fucking stud, because Greg Roman is the best run game friendly OC in the history of professional football. I have proof. Okay. Since I've been alive, and now I'm almost 40 years old. Okay. Since I've been alive, only one offensive coordinator has taken any team to over 3,000 rushing yards. Only one guy, and it's Greg Roman. He did it twice in a row, the last 2 seasons in Baltimore. I know a lot of people are going to say it was all Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson ran like crazy. That's just not necessarily the case. Yeah. You had 3 guys on the team that had more than 5 yards per carry. You had 3 guys on the team with at least 125 carries. You had 3 guys on the team with at least 6 rushing touchdowns. All 3 of the guys on this team, that's Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and Lamar Jackson, were really valuable last season, and Mark Ingram was still there. If you look at Greg Roman's history, he has now had fucking 7 teams. He's been OC of 7 teams in his career. He's never finished outside the top 9 in rush attempts. He's finished 3, 7, 3, 9, 2, and over the last 2 seasons, the number 1 team in rush attempts. He's never finished outside of the bottom 4 in pass attempts. 31st, 31st, 32nd, 29th, 31st, and the last 2 seasons, dead ass last in pass attempts. And he's never finished outside the top 8 in rushing production. That's yards per game. He finished 8, 4, 3, 4, and over the last 3 seasons in a row, his team was the number 1 rushing yardage producing team in the league. It's all he does. He doesn't want to throw. It was a perfect hire for Lamar Jackson. People say that Baltimore doesn't throw it because Lamar can't throw. But the actual fact is, Baltimore doesn't throw it because Greg Roman doesn't think throwing the forward pass should ever have been invented. Okay, exactly. He's a run first, second, third, fourth kind of guy. So if you can get a running back on this team, great. Any one of them. I just drafted Gus Edwards in the 19th round in a startup. I think that's the best value there fucking is. I mean, I know he's not the starter, but it doesn't matter.
He's going to give you 700 yards.
Yeah, and he's going to score 6 fucking touchdowns. He's
going to go over. Not take that?
Going to go over 5 yards a carry. I don't know. I'm happy that he fell to me. I'm very happy. Look, Mark Ingram's gone this year. Last year there were 8 games last season where Mark Ingram basically didn't play. He had 5 snaps or less in 8 games. Okay, so if you just look at those 8 games, you can kind of look at what the Dobbins and Gus Edwards split was, and that'll give you a little bit of an idea of what might happen this year. They were all toward the end of the season, so Dobbins kind of got his feet under him, but Dobbins was in there 55% of the snaps in those 8 games to 36% for Gus Edwards. Only 9 backs in the league had better than a 55% snap share. It's just not a thing that you see very often, so I'm happy with that number. Dobbins had 22 red zone attempts in those games to Gus Edwards' 10. If we remember when Mark Ingram finished running back 8 in 2019, it was all based on red zone work, touchdowns from inside the red zone. So good things for him there in that split. So for the people saying it's going to be a 50-50 split, it's just not going to be a 50-50 split. Maybe a 55-35 snap split, and I'm totally happy with that. Yeah. And then we just look at the raw numbers that J.K. Dobbins put up, okay, on the season. Remember, he didn't play much for the first half of the season, so we're going to look at averages. We're not going to look at a lot of totals, but he had the 5th most touchdowns from inside the 5-yard line of anybody in the league. He had 7 of them, okay? That's, by the way, 7 touchdowns from inside the 5 out of 8 attempts. That's 88%, which is an unheard of number. James Robinson was better last year. He was 5 for 5, but nobody else could touch 88%. Yeah. I mean, 7 out of 8 is fucking, if you can hit 55%, that's successful over the course of your career. 88% is stupid. Mm-hmm. From weeks 14 on, he had 52% of his team's red zone rushing carries. That includes Lamar's number as well. Only 9 backs had higher than that percentage over the season. So I'm really happy with him getting the chance inside the red zone. In fact, if you follow this kid in college and watch them coming out, that's what everybody said. Like, he'll be great inside the red zone. That's what he'll do. Yeah. Well, he was, right? And he's going to continue to be.
Unlike CEH. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the exact fucking polar opposite of CEH. Some other stats here. Look, 6 yards per carry. That was the best in the league for running backs. Kyler and Lamar were a little bit better at 6.2 and 6.3, but they're fucking quarterbacks, guys. Yeah. 3.1 yards in the league for Dobbins before contact, 2nd best in the league, and that tells you what Greg Roman's scheme does, okay? There are 8 men in the box on every play against the Baltimore Ravens, and he went 3.1 yards before contact on average over the season. That is stupid. Those blocking schemes Greg Roman puts together are insane. Then he went 2.9 yards per carry after first contact, which is 2nd best in the league, only behind Ronald Jones. I don't know why Ronald Jones leads that category, but he does. If you remove all of Dobbins' long carries, like his over 10-yard carries, he's still at a 5.4 yards per carry per clip number, which is best in the league regardless of position. 8.2% breakaway run rate, which is 1st in the league. That's carries over 15 yards. Let's not forget that at his pro day, this big beefy man ran a 4.32. He's got breakaway speed, and he showed it. 8.2% of his carries went for more than 15 yards. 6.7% touchdown rate, 3rd best in the league behind Kamara, and I won't say who the other guy is. And 2.18 yards created per touch, 3rd best in the league. Okay. All those numbers that I just fucking spewed at you. You might have fallen asleep, but my conclusion is this. Of all those rookies that are being drafted highly this year, or the second year guys being drafted highly this year, I think J.K. Dobbins is a better running back than Jonathan Taylor or James Robinson, and I think is in a much better situation than DeAndre Swift or Antonio Gibson. Put that together, he has a better chance of any of those guys finishing inside the top 5. He's certainly going to finish higher than David Montgomery and Josh Jacobs, non-second-year guys going higher than him. My projections, did I ever put my projections up there? Here, they can crawl on the screen. You can see his 2020 stats. You can see my projections. 1,200 total yards, okay? I only gave him 186 carries, so I was a little bit stingy there. Only 29 receptions because that's not his forte. But he's gonna go 1,200 yards. He's gonna score 13 touchdowns. He's gonna finish RB7, which is a lot higher than 16 where he's been drafted. Did I convince you?
Yeah, I mean, you convinced me on the scoring opportunity. You definitely convinced me on him being able to crunch those yards. His yards per carry cannot be ignored. But my worry overall is we're going to see a repeat of what we saw last year where he finished, I think it was like RB 17, 18, or what did he finish last year?
He finished 16 last season.
16.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's where I'm feeling like it's a ceiling because we all know Gus Edwards is going to get that 700 yards because he's done it back-to-back seasons, regardless of who's in front of him or behind him. He's going to get 700 yards, and I think that's what kind of peels me back with Dobbins getting that, close to 1K, and then he's going to be leaning on just to live off those touchdowns, which I'm not mad at. Like you said, his scoring opportunity is there. He's going to be a red zone monster. And Lamar Jackson, people get that confused. He's not really like a Josh Allen that's going and getting those rushing touchdowns because just Josh Allen has more rushing touchdowns than Lamar Jackson. Yeah. Saying it out loud just sounds crazy as hell to me, but it's true. He's not
size,
really
man. He's a big dude. Lamar's not that big guy.
Exactly. So he knows to stay off that goal line because that's not his forte. So that's where I see J.K. Dobbins living and breathing, and those 13 touchdowns are definitely doable. I might think he might get more than that. He might, go way more than that, and then you can end up seeing him creep into that top 5, conversation because him finishing RB7, that's like the same thing that, Mark Ingram did finishing RB8, when he was the guy. So definitely doable, man. You definitely sold me on that.
And so the argument, that Gus Edwards is going to get his 700 is totally valid on 31 teams in the league. It's a valid concern on 31 teams in the league, but it is not a valid concern for a Greg Roman offense because that team is going to rush for 3,200 yards. So 700 is a small chip off that block. Give another 1,000 of those over to your boy Lamar. That leaves 1,300 yards. There's no other team in the league where a back can get 700 and somebody else is still going to be fine. This is the only situation where that works.
It makes sense.
That's why coaches are important, man. That's why coaches are. All right, that was a lot of talking. I'm going to take 2 shots maybe.
I'll crush this beer.
Normally, I do these stat raps by myself, so I can just fucking keep going on and on and on and on. So I apologize I didn't stop to let you talk, right? I guess I should have stopped to let you weigh in.
I was listening, taking it in, and you definitely sold me because I was one of those guys that wasn't really a J.K. Dobbins believer. But again, his ADP might shoot up. It might get too expensive for my taste. I mean, I'm not really feeling the J.K. Dobbins, mid-second round. I'm not really feeling that type of situation of going into the draft, redraft that I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Obviously my formula is running back. Not saying it's the best formula, but him being my RB2, it could work out, you know what I mean? But there's other options there where I'd rather take.
I'm looking at Dobbins mid to late second round is about where I'd be happy taking him, which you don't really have to take him that high, at least not right now. Like he's going mid to late third, which I'm very happy with. Let me ask you this question. I know you're not going to talk about this guy, but I do want to do just a little thing on Jonathan Taylor right now. Okay, so Jonathan Taylor's going to the back end of the first round in dynasty startups. I imagine it's going to be roughly the same spots for redraft as well.
He's 110 through 112 right now in redraft.
Okay, so what's your take? Like, do you buy into Jonathan Taylor being a stud? Are you concerned with Marlon Mack coming back to this team? Is that a laughable question? What are you thinking?
You remember Miles Sanders' hype train where he was going at 110, 111, 112?
Yeah, same.
Same thing. That's exactly what's going to happen. Kenyon Drake was coming right out of that 201, even 112. Same thing. Same thing, man. It's definitely going to be a huge disappointment because Frank Wright hates fantasy football. He loves Marlon Mack. The Colts have this man crush on Marlon Mack. Like, kudos to him for, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He just can't stay healthy. Yep. So, yes, it is a real concern. It's not laughable. Marlon Mack's there to play, and I definitely think a lot of people are going to be, a little pissed off because Marlon Mack's going to be a little bit too involved. And also, you have to worry about Nyheim Hines, who's going to be on this third. And he's seeing a hell of a lot of targets. So don't be surprised you see him in the red zone either, where you want JT become fantasy relevant just to put in that one touchdown. It's going to be Nyheim Hines or it might be Marlon Mack. You never know. That's
OG Wolf back there. NC State, baby. I think that's what they do there. So this is a situation where if Marlon Mack goes 600-700 yards like Gus Edwards, there's real concern about the yardage left over for this guy. Okay, I agree with you. I'm not. I love watching him go that high because that means somebody better is falling to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's all that is. I'll go ahead and take somebody else at that position because I learned. Well, not that I learned my lesson, but I literally watched what happened with the Miles Sanders hype, and I literally was killing that hype train all August, all July, actually trying to chill out, relax. Okay, here you go, and then the egg's on everybody's face, but. Moving on.
Now I am back on the Miles Sanders hype train.
Oh, now because he's at a reasonable price. He's at a great price right now. I'll take him. Yep, give me him.
I think he's going to be a goddamn stud. This is goes to the coaching changes thing. Shane Steichen's coming in here and he's going to fucking make him the man on this team. Watch it happen. All right. So you've got a rookie, happens to be a running back. I might have said his name once or twice here that you want to tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, man.
Break it down, man.
Man, so this guy, I really was on the fence about. I definitely like the offseason move so far, for him being safe. But DeAndre Swift, okay, he finished RB18 last year, which is, great. It's a good situation for him. And I definitely like them bringing in Anthony Lynn as the new head offensive coordinator. His history, I would say he has overall a good running back system, being that, we saw it, over there in LA. So he likes the 1-2 punch. And I definitely think, we can see that 1-2 punch with Williams and Swift, but Swift obviously being the 1A, Swift being the, the gold mine, the guy that you want to have and own. So the thing is, we saw it with Lynn where he had Eckler finish RB4, Gordon RB23. Now, a lot of people don't understand in 2019 that Gordon actually held out and still ended up being a top 25 running back some way, somehow. Now, 2018, it was kind of flip-flop. We had Melvin Gordon finish RB8, Eckler RB25. And that was like before we actually could really see Eckler being that PPR monster that we all know he is. So I definitely like the 1-2 punch. You're going to get, your 1A in that situation, which is Swift here to be the offensive weapon that we all love and, try to compare. So the thing is, we're not expecting Alvin Kamara, production out of Swift. That's just not realistic to actually think. But we could possibly see a 2.0 of Eckler, just a small, lesser version, because I'm not comparing the talents. I'm just comparing the system here to where this guy could be utilized like the other guy. So I definitely like, the comparison between Swift and Eckler. If we can get that, that's great. Eckler saw 90 targets. If we can get Swift to get up there with 90 targets and have like 700, 800 yards, whatever, that's fine. That's cool. I'll deal with that. That's a top 15. That's actually, inside the top 12 of, with him over 90 targets, catching at least 75 to 85% of that, which can possibly happen. Swift is actually good at catching the passes out of the backfield. He only had 7 drops. So that's nothing like I'm really too worried about in that department. I know he's going to see those targets. I know he's going to be able to eat, and I know he's able to, have that breakaway speed as well. But at 212, my only, concern here, I kind of want him to put on a little bit more weight to be able to break those tackles, to evade those tackles. That's not something that I really saw, on tape, and the numbers actually show you that he's not really the guy to take a hit and bounce off of you and keep going. But he was ranked 13th in, running back targets, like we spoke before, with 57. That is not terrible. It's not great. It's middle of the pack. So goal line, he had 5 attempts, 3 touchdowns. That's back to what you were saying, with J.K. Dobbins with his 88%. I kind of like, Swift ability with inside the 5, having that goal line duty. But the small concern about me with Swift right now is his ADP. At 211 in redraft is not that expensive. It could possibly change. It could change after, the NFL draft. I can definitely see that exploding. Like, I could definitely see that being something like, oh, wow, they didn't draft another running back. They're just going to rock with Williams. They're just going to rock with Kieran Johnson. So now we're looking at, Swift to be the spearhead. Not saying he isn't, but there's concerns. This is where it gets dark. You want to take a shot?
Let's take a break here. Okay, we're going to do 2 things before you tell me the dark side of this whole thing. I want you, we already opened it. I want you to shotgun that beer. I'm going to hit 2 shots. I got to do an ad to pay some bills, and then we're going to hit it, okay? Can you shotgun a beer for me?
No.
Dude, we know each other how long now? Like, come on. Just fucking shotgun.
Or anything to stab it with.
Shotgun 1 beer. Stab it with your dick, bro.
I'll chug it.
Are you not hard? Are you not a little hard? I'm always hard enough to stab a beer can with my dick if I need to, especially when you're on here. Look at you. You're beautiful. Fuck, come on.
Every time.
I mean, I get I get the tingles down below just looking at your gorgeous face.
They call you Dagger Dick now.
That's fucking hilarious. Like if I knew how to put my name on my screen right now, I would fucking throw that shit up there.
Dagger Dick.
Dagger Dick. Hang on.
Oh, that was hilarious.
No, I don't. I have no idea how to do. I have no idea how to do any of this. I'm gonna take a couple of shots, finish a beer. I'm gonna pay the bills, and then we're gonna go. Let's have it. Let's make it happen.
Let's do
it. 1, 2.
I'm actually gonna save that beer.
Come on, you bitch. You just told me you're going to fucking chug a beer.
God damn it.
Don't be a little bitch. I drank a whole pyramid of beers already. I don't give a fuck. You're young. You can do that shit. Hey, you work on that, Sally. Sip that fucking beer, Sally. Let me do this thing real quick, so the people know.
Pay the bills.
Yeah. So if you're watching here, what I want you to do is jump over on Instagram for just a hot minute. Go find at the Jersey Jungle. These guys make beautiful fucking legit knit jerseys, and they're half the price of what you can get on NFL.com. $60 for a jersey, regular price. If you give them the TCK code, they're going to give you 10% off one jersey, 10% off two, or 15 off if you want a 3-pack. LQ, that's 3 jerseys from these guys for the same price as one from NFL.com. They're all legit game jerseys. They make custom jerseys every sport in the world. All you really need, though, is a J.K. Dobbins and a Greg Roman. Get yourself a custom Greg Roman jersey. Make it the number 3,000 because he's the best that's ever fucking done it. Okay, go get these guys at the Jersey Jungle on Instagram. Just reach out to them and tell them what you want. They can make anything. They can make it beautiful, make it happen. Tell them TCK sent you. Are you done with that beer, brother?
Oh, I wasn't drinking. I was playing at that. I really want a jersey now. You sold me, bro.
You're gonna get that Greg Roman. What are you gonna get? What are you gonna get?
Cam Akers, of course.
Yeah, you would go get a Cam Akers, though, I guess.
I wonder why.
Cam Akers a fucking bum, okay? It should have been somebody else, anybody else. I don't even care.
Stop it. This ain't a Cam Akers episode, man.
Yeah, you're right about that.
We could get into that, but no, not right now.
Where do you take Cam Akers, real quick?
I take Cam Akers before Swift. I take Cam Akers before Gibson, and that's not saying a lot. So, if anything,
Where's he next to Dobbins?
He is, well, for me, is JT, Akers, Dobbins, Gibson, Swift.
Got it.
That's my order. That's my order for now.
Well, since Swift is 5, tell me the dark side. What is it that bumps Swift down so low on your second-year running back list? Why is he not going to fucking break out and be the stud that everybody's drafting him to be?
Well, here is the problem. So we're looking at this offseason. We're looking at Detroit. We're seeing them sign guys. We're seeing them bring in Williams. We're seeing them, just overall just not really making the moves that we want them to make. They couldn't keep Galladay. Jones is gone. So they have no wide receivers. Just 0 wide receivers. So you got to understand them.
Wait. Quintez Cephas is a guy. Tyrell Williams.
I'm glad this is video so you can see my face. Because no, it is not. And I'm glad you put that in. That's a nice little plug and play for where I'm going. Now you have that trade where you bring in Jared Goff. Jared Goff needed training wheels with Sean McVay. Sean McVay got rid of Goff because he is not a winning quarterback. There never been a time where we asked Jared Goff to win a game for us. There's no heart. There's no type of just, high quarterback IQ between Goff and, the plays or whatever. It just isn't there. So here's the problem now. You have no wide receivers. Goff is going from Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks at one point, and Van Jefferson, the rookie that's going to pop off next year. Just watch and see. Todd Gurley in a number 1 stud defense. But now you got him going to Detroit with no wide receivers, dead last defense, a coach that doesn't know how to be a head coach. That's now your offensive coordinator. This isn't good. This is bad. This is bad for an organization. This is bad for a team. Your defense did not get better. Your defense has been dead last always, forever. So here's the thing. Goff is the captain of that ship. You're depending on Goff to be good, to be serviceable, for TJ Hawk to be great. You're depending on Goff to have that IQ ability. Where's Swift at for the check down? You're depending on that for a bad team. They're overall not going to be able to move the ball. This team was bad with Stafford last year. Now we're flipping the script, new organization, new, coaches, blah, blah, blah. That does play a factor. You're just making the question mark more bigger and bolder here because we don't know what these guys can do at all. These offseason moves doesn't make me feel like, oh, wow, Swift has upside. He has this, huge ceiling. Maybe he does, being that he's the only good offensive player there outside of TJ Hawk, because TJ Hawk is going to be overworked. We've seen TJ Hawk get injured. We've seen him take blows. taking all these hits when, Galladay's out or Marvin Jones is doing his thing over there or whatever the case may be. So if TJ Hawk's out, who else is going to catch the ball? How is that offense going to be moving? How are these first downs going to be made? These are questions that are going to have to come into factor of how you're going to invest in a fucking Detroit Lions fucking running back. Because the last time there was a 1,000-yard rusher was Reggie Bush with 1,006 yards. So he barely did that. Before that, 04, a guy named Kevin Jones. Who the fuck is Kevin Jones?
Kevin Jones was an Olympic sprinter.
Okay, fuck you. 04. So you're telling me, here's my problem. You're telling me you're going to invest into a running back that plays for a team that is all hell right now, and they haven't produced a good running back in years. I don't care how good Swift is on tape. I don't care how good Swift looked with his, partial, responsibilities behind AP. It's fine. The numbers are great. My problem is that this team is bad, very bad. And Jamal Williams, don't sleep on him. He has the pass catching ability. He has the goal line experience as well because he was right behind you with Aaron Jones. He was there with those touches. He had 14 goal line touches. That is nothing to be slept on. So Jamal Williams is a guy that you have to worry about somewhat when it comes to just pestering. It's not much of his, volume that's going to hurt Swift. It's just the pestering touches that he doesn't need to have.
Is Jamal Williams a Lion?
Yes.
God, that one went right the fuck over.
Yes.
Christ.
Not
Jamal Williams was a pain in the ass when Aaron fucking Jones was ahead of him. Aaron Jones is a far better back than DeAndre Swift. That's a great point there. I had no idea.
Yes, exactly. So therefore, with all these question marks, I cannot, and I repeat, I cannot in redraft invest in a Lions running back in the second round again because we all been burned by Kieran Johnson that one year that he popped off. All these high hopes. Redraft, he went as high as like the second round. Me, I took him in like the end of the third round in one of my redraft leagues that are here at home. And that was embarrassing because I went against my own word. I do not invest high on a fucking Detroit Lions running back.
Never.
If anything, I said that's all you need to get out of. They don't produce good running backs.
They don't produce good much of anything. Okay?
Exactly.
I'm a Michigan boy. I guess it's my quote unquote hometown team right now. I think they're fucking garbage, and there's a good reason. I think they might, they might tickle with that 0-16, be the first team to do it twice.
0-17 now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. 0-17.
First in history.
That would be very fucking impressive.
Bro,
look, yes.
That's the thing. Like, the team is bad. Overall, it's bad. You know what I mean? I really think that we're really depending on, Goff to be good. Lynn actually know what the hell he's doing. Like, the overall team last year was bad. They had a low third down percentage, very bad. They had only 1,499 yards from the rushing game overall from 3-4 running backs, whoever was back there. They just aren't a good team. They did not get better in the offseason at all. Like, I don't care what addition you think was a good signing. Like, they just overall didn't get better. That defense didn't get better. Nothing got better. So the best thing they did was coaching, offensive coordinator. That's about it. That's the only plus I can come out of this conversation with.
I like I've just lost my goddamn train of thought. Look, I like that trade. I like the Goff trade because of the future picks that they picked up, because everybody in the fucking organization knows they're rebuilding, which means they're fucking terrible right now. Yeah. They made that trade so that they could be better later. Unfortunately, your fantasy football season is happening in 2021. Right. Yeah. Like, you can't wait. If you're in a dynasty league, maybe you can get this guy at a discount, and a couple, 2-3 years down the line, this team starts to come together if they build it right. But that's a big if, because the Lions have never been good at building a team.
Exactly. So you want to draft that high for a running back for a rebuild right now?
God, fuck no. Fuck, no. Sell this motherfucker. So, he's being drafted everywhere. He's the second one of these guys off the list behind Jonathan Taylor. In my startup, I think Jonathan Taylor went like 108 and DeAndre Swift went like 202 or something. Like, it was a real stupid high number. Fuck. Save your picks, guys. I think I'm going to win this league. It's with the Commish boys or something. I don't know. They do some stuff with Sky, who runs this outfit here that we're doing. But
nice.
I'm going to win that league. It's a $50 league. It's a decent little league. I'm going to win it this year. I'll bet you.
Don't bet me. Bet him.
No, I want to bet you. And if I win, you have to come on the show and do it naked.
No, 100% no.
I'll let you wear a fucking banana hammock. I want to see that big, beautiful chest out there, though. I want to see those pecs, baby. Show me the pecs. Do you have a real deal fantasy tattoo?
No, not yet.
What the fuck are you doing, man? Big across the chest. Maybe that's the bet. You.
Hell no.
If I win, you fucking tattoo dagger dick across your chest.
Okay. No, if you lose, you got to get tattooed right across the pube line.
Oh, the wife would really love that. She's just kind of creeping down. Oh, that'd be great. I may never get that again. What am I kidding? I'm married. I don't fucking get it anyway. You're married. What's your sex life like?
She's Puerto Rican, so very active.
Very nice. She got that Puerto Rican booty. You don't have to tell. It was a rude question. I apologize for asking. You know, there's a level of respect that we should maintain. We can talk about each other's dicks all day. Okay, but wife's ass, inappropriate. You eat that ass? I'm sorry. Let's not talk about.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about
like another level, bro.
This is my show now. I can say whatever I want. I don't have to keep decorum because I'm guest hosting on your show.
That is true. That is true.
Look, let me tell you something about. So you had the Hitman, right, from the Fantasy Footballers on your show.
Yep.
Last year, you played a game of mine. I invented a fantasy football game, by the way, people. It's amazing. It's called 3 in the Pink, 2 in the Stink, right? You played this game. You were really bad at it. Really bad. Really bad. But I say this because
I don't think I understood the game. I think that's why.
Fine. Bad. Great excuse. Great fucking excuse. You got to prepare those excuses ahead of time. Look, somebody, Sky totally agrees with your take. And Tyler Moss, God only knows what Tyler Moss is ever doing. Tyler Moss, who knows? Look, I took that game 3 in the Pink, 2 in the Stink, and I'm a very crude person. Okay, my game is crude. The rules are written in such a way that's real. It's named 3 in the Pink, 2 in the Stink, for fuck's sake. And I invited all the guys from the Fantasy Footballers, and I've done it for a few years. And this year I got a response, and the response went something like, not only will we not be participating, but I think it's an absolutely inappropriate whatever. And they just went on and on about how, like, I'm ruining the industry with my crassness, right? Like,
are you kidding me?
No, I'm not fucking kidding you. They think I'm inappropriate, and they don't think I have a place in the fantasy football industry. All I said back was, I appreciate your feedback. I mean, what do you say to that?
Oh, well. I guess that's a nice way to respond.
Because I'm a good person.
Yeah, you could have went negative that way. I mean, you could have been like, "No, fuck you." Like,
yeah, this is fantasy goddamn football, for Christ's sakes.
Fantasy's real to me.
Get off my nut, man. Anyway, I love their show. Maybe they could loosen up a little bit. Is all I'm saying. I noticed you didn't have a pyramid of beers in the background when you did that show. So,
hey, I think I didn't actually. I did it a week later after that. That's when I had a party, but that's whole nother.
I'm going to take one more of these shots with you. I fully expect, here's 2 things that I expect from you, sir. We're pretty much done with the show. Okay. Mm-hmm. Our content is pretty much over. Basically, go draft J.K. Dobbins, sell DeAndre Swift. Yep. That's all you need to know. We're just going to shoot the shit for a little bit longer. If you're hanging out, cool. If you're not, whatever. LQ, here's 2 things that I expect from you in the very near future, okay?
Yep.
This is what I expect in the very near future. Number 1, I expect you to invite me into your home league. Number 2, I expect an invite to your house where I can stay with you and your Puerto Rican wife for a week and draft with you guys, okay? I won't mention the booty, okay? I promise. I will lock the door when I jerk off. Fine. I expect those 2 things. I've been telling the guys on my podcast for a couple of years now that if I could join anybody's fantasy league, I want it to be yours.
Oh, fine. I mean,
mostly because I think your takes are fucking stupid and I can beat you. I'm kidding.
All right, thank you. But I have a Jersey league that I'm trying to. It's a Jersey Dynasty league, a $75 buy-in, and It's a live draft. So I'm definitely thinking about doing that, putting that together. But it's going to be, probably in July because like August, I'm like fucking smack dab of fucking everything in my life happening. But
I'll even be vaccinated by then. Come on.
Fuck COVID. But
That's what I'm
in
saying.
July, I'm thinking about doing something like that like towards the end.
Live draft in person in Jersey, in the armpit of America.
Yes, sir. Dirty Jers.
I get to come to your basement bar.
Yeah, of course. Of course. So I'm definitely trying to put that together. See, the local people that are like close, New York, PA, Delaware.
I'm not close.
How far are you? Like,
Michigan.
Obviously you're like 3 hours. Oh no, not 3 hours. Somebody's
more than that.
Really?
I don't know how far Michigan is. I don't do geography. I do fantasy football.
Damn, Michigan is probably like longer than 3 hours. Actually, I'm thinking about it. Probably like 6, 7. It's up there.
You could just come get me.
No.
Look, if you come out here, you drive out here to come get me, this is what we'll do, okay? We'll put a phone on a dash, and we'll just do we'll live stream the whole drive back.
Wait, hold up. Perfect. Are you going to Canton?
Excuse me?
The expo. The Fantasy Football Expo.
I don't know anything about it. I haven't been invited. I'm not well respected. I'm not well respected in this industry. I'm too crass.
Oh, my God. You asshole. So there's a Fantasy Football Expo, August 15th. I'm going to send you the link. You have to go. We're having like a Saturday. We're doing a flag football league. We're doing a live draft. We're doing like a analyst draft. And I think the event is Sunday, like 10 o'clock till 4. So, yeah, you're coming.
Write it down. Send it to me.
All right, then. I'll send you the link right after this and then buy your ticket and full send it.
Hey, since there are still people watching, give me one rookie running back that is not obvious. Like, we're not talking Etienne or Najee Harris. One rookie running back do you like? I don't know how much you do rookies. Do you do a lot of rookie stuff?
Like, my rookie stuff doesn't kick up until now. Because
so you don't know.
Huh?
So you don't know?
Not really. Like, I mean, Michael Carter is the guy that I've been looking at, lately. He's definitely looking like a nice fit, somewhere in Atlanta or something like that. Or, Kenneth Gainwell. These are the two running backs that I just started, like, really looking at. Like, I like Gainwell a lot. I could see him in Atlanta as well, too. But
you know where Gainwell's going?
Where?
He's going to go to Denver, and he's going to take the Eckler role.
Ugh.
Behind Melvin Gordon, when Eckler played with Melvin Gordon, obviously.
Ugh. No, I don't like that.
The Phillip Lindsay role, I guess, is what it is. It's not a great landing spot, but I think it's going to be a great spot for the team.
I mean, look at Gibson, look at Henderson. Like they're running backs. They produce good running backs over there in Memphis. So it's like he needs a starting job, at least a shot.
Gibson couldn't even get on the field as a running back when this kid was playing.
Yeah, but now look at him now in Washington. He's killing it. He's a stud. So I feel like he needs a shot to be a starter. Henderson didn't really get his shot, but he had his opportunities. I just don't think he was fully ready to take on that starting job. And then now we drafted Cam Akers and kind of put that to bed. So it is what it is. But I think, Gainwell should get his shot, definitely. But only two of the running backs that I think, that are like obviously like being looked over because they're not the big names is, Michael Carter and Gainwell. Honestly, like they're probably like the 4th, 5th running back even mentioned, behind these guys. So those are the two guys I'm probably going to be looking for in the draft of, landing spots. And then if I'm going to think about drafting them in Dynasty, like how high or even in redraft, I might take my shot. I took a shot on Gibson. No, why not take a shot on Gainwell? You know what I mean?
Why not? Let me give you a 4th round name. Not to toot my own horn, but I told everybody to draft James Robinson last year.
No, you didn't.
Stud. My tape study was great.
Fuck you.
Go back and watch the tape. Lucas will tell you. I think you know Lucas. Do you know?
Hell
Lucas?
Yeah, I know Lucas. Yeah.
Lucas will tell you. Okay.
That you had James Robinson.
Yes.
Oh my God. Let me grab a beer real quick. That's bullshit.
Please do. I swear to where are you, fucking Lucas? Are you watching? Pay attention. Tell this asshole.
That's bullshit.
His Senior Bowl tape was amazing. And coming out of that Senior Bowl, I was all over James Robinson. Here's a guy who is a 4th round rookie draft guy who is probably not going to be drafted. But I think his skill set could be elite given the opportunity in the NFL. He played for the University of Louisiana Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns. He was part of a 3-headed monster machine. His name is Elijah Mitchell. Write it down. Write it down. So in a year from now, when I tell you I fucking said Elijah Mitchell's name, you're not going to say some shit.
I'll remember that name.
Write it down. Elijah Mitchell. He's going to be, he could be given an opportunity. So he's probably not going to end up
due to injury, due to, other miscellaneous shit.
Yeah, if fucking somebody gets COVID 8 times in a row, like Raquel Armstead did last year, maybe Elijah Mitchell will be.
Hold up, is he still alive? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he is. He's still on the Jags too. He's still good.
Oh my god! And that was what I was telling people about
Elijah Mitchell. I've got him rated above guys like Trey Sermon from Ohio State. I have him and Chris Evans neck and neck. That kid out of Michigan who people kind of like, but I think Elijah Mitchell could be something.
Elijah Mitchell. Okay.
I'm going to turn off the live broadcast now. We're not doing anything. We're just hanging out. So we can hang out backstage.
There you go.
Let me close it. Okay. What is this show? Which channel are we on? The TCK, the Candlestick Kids. We're trying to get this thing going over here. Come check us out. Subscribe, please, everywhere that you can. We do shows 2 days a week right now. There are 4 of us that kind of tag team trade off. Hey, next week I'm bringing on the boys from Fantasy In Session to do another version of this. I told them to pick a couple of rookies. You know those guys. Good dudes as well. Should be a lot of fun. That's next week, Thursday, I think it is. But every Tuesday and Thursday, somebody's on doing something. We did our first mock draft last night on the channel. That was a lot of fun too. So subscribe everywhere. The website's tckpod.com. We're going to make it better. It's not great yet. YouTube channel is hopefully where you're watching this right now. You can catch me at DweezeNutz, all Z's, no S's. I really wish it said my name under my face. You're going to have to show me how to do that after we turn off the air. This was TCK Pod, episode number 377. So 400, I hope we do something fun for. I don't know. It's not up to me, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Dick's out on that one. I've been trying to get Dick's out on this channel for a while. I think it might really drive up our viewership. LQ, Real Deal Fantasy, we appreciate you coming on, man. If you want to do one more whatever plug, tell the people whatever you want to tell them about who you are, what you represent. Do that before I hit the end broadcast button.
Hey, you can find me at Real Deal Fantasy HQ on Instagram. You can find me at Real Deal Fantasy on Twitter, Facebook. You can catch me everywhere, where there's social media. I'm on TikTok, unfortunately. I'm on Clubhouse.
What the fuck is Clubhouse?
Clubhouse is an iPhone thing. It's basically where you go to have conversations. It doesn't necessarily have to be, fantasy content. There's no video, so it's just all audio. So it's a good place to have conversations with a large group of people. So you can find me there at Real Deal Fantasy as well.
Awesome, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on. You were right about DeAndre Swift and the Detroit Lions. They fucking suck. Look, man, we're going to keep it going, but yeah, whatever. Show's over. Fuck off.
Peace.